Yeah. Yeah. Amos saw the storm before we felt the rain. Does your judgment don't miss nobody? Not then, not now. Oh, oh. From Zion came that voice, heavy like a lion's roar. Most High calling out the nation, settling every score. Gaza, Damascus tide, he said, I remember what you done. Fire gon' meet your strongholds when the reckoning comes. Ain't no hiding from the truth when the trumpet begins. He said, for 3 transgressions, and yeah, for 4 I ain't holding it in. Judgment rolling in like thunder on the plain. Ain't no peace when wicked men keep playing with.
Plantation. 9 to 5 be the time I was wasting. Man, I feel like I need a vacation. Saving up for my resignation. Why I feel like my manager hating. Ain't the one for no verbal castration. This government ain't giving reparation. We'll go to crime trying to fight the temptation.
Rejoice in tribulations, demonstrate patience in every situation, picking up the pieces to their heart restoration. People broken hearted and in need of salvation. We in captivity, we done lost our history. Disconnected from his laws, now there's no integrity. Here's the book and let them see, because they dying in these streets. Walking in darkness and where the carcass is, the eagles be. Walking in darkness and where the carcass around us like vultures. Murder on their mind when they approach us. Let your light shine, watch them scatter like roaches. Babylon falling cause we taking back our culture. Heal our land, Abba now put us back in agriculture. This word burning them up, Romans is a flamethrower. We prophesy destruction, nukes coming, game over. International, continental, ballistic missile. Them bombs dropping like rain, no drizzle. The lake of fire make them sizzle. Showing fruits of the spirit, we don't gather figs of thistles. That's the dog, you know, so just like you were saying.
Hey, my name is Amani Bright Laws. I'm a travel business owner. My business is Always Shine Bright Travel, where we help you discover your next bright destination. I want to talk to you really quickly today about becoming a travel business owner. Listen, if your passion is traveling, if your passion is exploring the world, if your passion is wanting to travel and explore the world, then you should become a travel business owner, okay? I have 2 easy ways to get started, less than 1 minute, okay? The first way, up here, our website, travelagentworkshop.com. And please use my sponsor ID, Always Shine Bright, okay? The second way is a text code. Text the word workshop to the number 281-767-9711. And again, reference my sponsor ID, Always Shine Bright, okay? Listen, the workshop is free. It's a free 3-day workshop, which gives you all the information on how to get started to become a travel business owner, okay? Any questions that you have will get answered within that workshop, okay? So let me meet you on the money-making side of travel, where you can turn your passion into your paycheck.
Y'all know what time it is. It's your boy, Chef D-Nail, over here at Guess Who's Cooking. Good cooking, good eating, good living. Y'all know how we do it every Sunday about this time, man. We're going to get straight to it. We got the chicken and dumplings, all right? We got the perch fish with the mac and cheese, with the yams, with the 5 cheese toast over here on the Texas side. And of course, we got the world famous turkey tips, all right? We also got, on this one, we got the greens with the turkey tails, and we got the spaghetti. You already know what time it is, man. Hit the link, 773-992-4737 is the phone number to place your order every Sunday, all right? And you can hit us up on the Cash App to make payments at Guess Who's Cooking, the number 2. All right. You can hit the www.guesswho'scooking on the World Wide Web. You can catch us on Facebook Marketplace under Guess Who's Cooking. And, of course, on TikTok, man, at Guess Who's Cooking. Come on down. Get your orders.
Give me shame, I give you peace from underneath. Give me mind and be in light to reignite. Can you open up the doors to let me in? Can you open up the doors to let me in? You could put the heart inside, don't tap my head. As I sing the love inside from out my mouth. Tell me what you need to find. Tell me now. Tell me what you need to find.
In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Nah, that's the chariot coming back to save the game. It's a bloodline thing, we not the same. You think this shit a game? We about to rage, look in the sky, blooming movie distraction from what's really happening. All these heathens, they astonished. Look at the lights and look at the violence, look at the weather, look at the power. They got spacecraft, no real pilot. They tryna break through when they wildin'. When the land break through, y'all gon' be silent. He coming back for who really solid. Surrounded by water in a dome that's solid. Glass jar, hard bars. I'm in predictions like Bart Simpson. Stop, mark, charge, shoot far down below. Protect your neck or protect your soul. We in the land where anything goes.
far above your atlas. Demons get no access. Evangelists, activists, and I do get active. Christianity, insanity, deserted like a cactus. Pricked by the Blake's automatic acrobatics. Make a heathen air dynamic, floating backwards. I carry iron like my son is a blacksmith. Heavenly realms, heavenly dwell in the Torah Milky Way on a galactical scale. Flow solar, heart polar, Yahweh soldier. With composure, stay sober, the world is over. When the prophets arrive, keep it kosher.
Alone. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Yahweh Bashem, Mashiach Yahweh Shai, Rakatah, Ken. All right. So let's begin. You know what I'm talking about? First and foremost, let's give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem, Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being named in the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai being named His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. For this lesson today, which will be called the Year of My Redeemed, I will be the teacher of the class. My name is Chaasayah, H.Y. Philly, and my swordsman today. Figured out, okay?
Brother.
Con, let them know who you are, King.
Brother Kazak, H.O.I. Milwaukee.
Con, a lot of stuff going on in Milwaukee in these days. You know what I'm talking about? So we're going to bring it out. We're going to talk about the current events as they are tied to biblical prophecy. Okay. So, Kwam Yasha'Allah, Rise Israel. And let's begin. Okay. We're going to start with the Lord's Prayer in Paleo Hebrew. You can find this in Matthew chapter 6, verse 9 through 13. It's the Lord's Prayer in ancient Paleo Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Quadash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malachwaka, Thaba'ah, Ratazayaka, Aya, Aisha, Baratazah, Kawa, Haya, Bashemayim, Natananawa, Lacham, Kau, Yawam, Wasalaf Nawa, Kabawaf Nawa, Kasalaf Nawa, Kabawaf Yanawa, Wala'a, Dabi Yanawa, Banasai 1, Abo, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Leka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Watapalaraf, Lawalumyam, Aman. All right, so we're this, like I said, this is the year my redeemed. A lot happened since the beginning of the so-called New Year. Of course, we know the New Year does not take place in the dead of winter, but we cannot bypass the things that have happened since the so-called New Year, right? You think about last year, January 1st, around the same time, somebody went and rented Elon Musk Cybertruck and blew it up in front of Trump Towers. Extremely symbolic, you know what I'm saying? And since then, it's been on and popping. So it's not like anything changed. It's just progressively getting worse and worse as the days go on. And when I say worse and worse, it's more and more prophecy. You know what I'm saying? So to see this, some people see this like, oh, this is terrible. What's going on? If you're a law-abiding Israelite, you are excited. You know what I'm saying? You want more things to happen because that means more prophecy and less time here in Babylon. All right. But let's begin. Okay. Let's start with Second Ezra in the Apocrypha, chapter 9 and verse 13. The wicked are being judged. Do you know what I'm saying? Judgment is taking place throughout the four corners of the earth. There's wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, the sun exploding with huge coronal holes in the middle of it. All that energy coming racing towards the earth, probably going to cause more earthquakes, more volcanic eruptions, possibly tsunamis, things of that nature. And it's something we all got to keep an eye out for because this is prophecy. But are we caring about the ungodly and the wicked and everything like that? They got their spot. You know what I mean? It's pretty much sewed up. You know what I mean? When you read the scriptures, you understand that there's nowhere Esau can go. He's not running to Mars. He's not going in the water. He's going to get judged, and all the other heathens along with him, and 2/3 of our people. But let's bring that out, King. Second Ezra 9:13.
It's the book of Second Ezra, chapter 9, verse 13. Say, and therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished. And when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, who the world is, for whom the world is created.
So when we say the world was created for everyone, that is not true. The world was created for the righteous, those that were given the law. The law was given to the Israelites in the wilderness. Ezra talked about this before in Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 59. He talks about, hey, if the world's made for us, how come we don't, we ain't got a part in this thing, paraphrasing. So prophets have been talking about this for a minute, and this is the time period that we're living in where you can see nuclear weapons being pointed at Babylon. You can see nuclear weapons being talked about at length by Russia and Iran. Iran posted a video of what it looked like a nuke saying that Israel is going to be destroyed tonight. And that was last night, I do believe. You know, whatever standard time you're living in, you know what I mean? But it's really gearing up over there in Iran. So all these things have led to the possibility where this place can be turned into a lake of fire. All praises to the Most High. So we understand that that's going to happen. You know what I mean? But let's think about the future. Let's think about what the Most High has in store for those that wait on Him, those that follow His law, statutes, commandments, those that are fear His name. You know, the Most High has things in store for us. You know what I mean? And in order for us to get there, these things got to happen to the wicked. All right. So we're not, worried about what's happening to the wicked. We're just going to talk about it because, of course, this is prophecy. And anytime you feel like I'm falling off, you know what I mean? This is too much for me. Just think about how close you are to seeing Yahushua return. Okay. So with that, let's continue on. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 6. Kai, you can bring it out.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 6. It say, how ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty.
Kind of. So when Christians have in their mind that it's going to be, uh, people in, a big circle hugging each other, and it's going to be all love, and you know Jesus is coming back, white Jesus is coming back to pat everybody on the head and say, even though you did nothing, you did a good job. All you had to do was say my name 3 times and you made it into the kingdom of heaven. That is not a reality. The reality is it is destruction. You know what I'm saying? Given all these things, all these possibilities, life, air to breathe, water to drink, all these things that the Most High, fruit that grows on trees and everything like that, and pretty much not only squander it, but really not fear God. Talk to your average Christian, you say, look, it says in Jeremiah 10 not to celebrate Christmas. Oh, well, that was a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like that type of energy where you really don't fear your creator is going to get a lot of people jammed up and murked in these last days. You know what I'm saying? It's destruction. Destruction's on this way. We're going to talk about Venezuela. You have a president that kidnapped another president and his wife. You know what I'm saying? And right now they're talking about bombing Iran, like as we speak. I'm waiting for it to pop up because they're saying that fighter jets were seen over Iraq. You know what I mean? And if we remember when he bombed bombed Iran before, there's different avenues they had to take in order to get to Iran. Saudi Arabia said they can't come through Saudi Arabia, but Iraq is pretty much compromised since America bombed them, put in the puppet government, so forth and so on. So it's a very real possibility that while we're on this call, that it'll be another war started by Donald Trump. You know what I mean? But ultimately, the Most High is controlling him like a puppet and having him go to each continent and blow things up, whether it's Nigeria, soon to be Iran again, Venezuela. You know what I mean? It is going down. Can you read the next verse? Verse 7.
Therefore, 13 verse 7 says, therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt.
You know what I mean? So a lot of distress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of mental breaks, you know what I mean, of seeing these things. Even though it's written that this will happen, a lot of people will not believe, so things are happening so fast at a phenomenal rate, it's hard to catch up. So I'm trying to, with this lesson, trying to break things down to how we got where we're at and where we're going. Okay. Most High willing to the kingdom of heaven. Let's go to Romans chapter 8 and verse 30. All right. Because when you fear the Lord, you're not worried about these things. It's like, oh man, Jacob's trouble. Once Jacob's trouble gets here and this, that, and the third. If you have that belief in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he'll bring you a plate of food in a lion's den, like he did Daniel. You know what I mean? He'll give you a message to where you can find fresh water. He'll have a rock that, you strike and water comes out of it. So if we believe in these scriptures, then we have nothing to worry about. All right. Go ahead, Ken. You can bring it out.
God's book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 30, says, it say, moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called, and whom he called, them he also justified. And whom he justified, them he also glorified.
So we're looking at that shared glory. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning, it's no accident that you're in this truth. That's very important to keep in mind. You didn't choose this. It's like, oh man, if I didn't take that left down the street and run into them brothers, I wouldn't have known that I was an Israelite. Or if I didn't click on that YouTube video, I would have known I'm an Israelite. This was predestined. You know what I'm saying? You didn't choose this. It chose you. You know what I mean? The Israelite life, you didn't choose it. It chose you. Okay. Knowing who you are and being set up in these last days to be kings, princesses, on this planet and beyond. My Father's house is many mansions. You're being set up for greatness in this universe. Okay. Go ahead, read verse 31.
Verse 31. It say, what shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us?
Yeah, man. Like, let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? If you have the power of the heavens and the earth and the seas and the space everywhere, right? If he's on your team, what can Donald Trump do to you? You know what I mean? Like really think about it. What is ice going to do to you? You know what I mean? Unless they want to get struck by lightning, or have a tornado just hit their house. What can they really do to you? You know what I mean? And it comes from, following what the Lord says. Your prayers will pierce the clouds. You're going to be, the apple of the Most High's eye. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing nobody can touch you. They can't touch you. Untouchable. So the more we see this devastation happening around the world, and the more you realize that you're still breathing, then you know that it's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Just keep going in the right direction. Khan, can you read the next verse?
Book of Romans chapter 9, verse 32.
Khan.
He that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things?
Khan. You know what I'm saying? The sacrifice the Most High made for us, of being his own son, that he's looking at y'all like, I want to see you make it. I want to see you in this kingdom sipping wine with my son. And if he started a good work with you, he's going to finish it until the day of Mashiach Yahushua. But we can't. What we need to do is stop banging our head against the wall, kicking against the pricks. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to go with the flow and, handle business. Listening to what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is saying, reading his word, reading the scriptures, and building up your confidence that the Lord is with you. Okay? Go ahead. You can read on.
Now, verse 32, it says, he that spared not his own son, but delivered him delivered him up for us all. How shall he not with him also freely give us all things?
Kind of read on.
Who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? It is God that justifies.
So, the Most High has our back. We ain't worried about them. All right, go ahead.
Verse 34, it says, who is he that condemneth? It is Christ that died, yea, rather, that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of Yahweh, who also maketh intercession for us.
God has our back. Yahushua has our back. Okay, so let's just keep going in the right direction. All right, name this the year of my redeemed. It started off crazy. It's continuing to get crazy. It's only going to get crazier. Okay, just be girded, be wise, read the scriptures, and let's get into it. So we gotta say, first and foremost, Fair Use Act. Video is protected by the Fair Use Act. All right. Teaching, moment, lesson, thus being protected by the Fair Use Act. Okay. Let's begin. All right. So we get the first video up and we'll talk about it, when we get back. Esau is being honest. He's a truthful liar, right? He's still the devil, you know what I mean? And we'll get to that, but he knows what's going to happen. And go ahead, King. You can play that.
His own people in regards to, white people being less and less in population. Check it out.
Why aren't white people talking about this more? We are on the verge of global extinction, according to Wall Street Apes, the most reputable news source on X. As you can see, 100 years ago, we represented about 35% of the population. 50 years ago, 20%. 25 years ago, 15%. Today, just 8%. And in the United States of America, in 2046, white people will be considered a minority. Elon Musk is the only one that gets it. If current trends continue, whites will go from being a small minority of world population today to virtually extinct. I've come up with a solution that will actually prevent this mass extinction level event for white people everywhere. And it's quite simple. All you have to do is more. What is wrong with you? Just your wives. You can't get your up because you're too busy running your mouth blaming minorities for all the problems. Just more. That's the whole game. That's why God put you on this earth and you're not doing a job. I did my part. I have 2 white little kids. Now, when the retribution eventually comes, they're going to have to answer for what our ancestors have done. But that's the whole fear for all of you. Otherwise, who cares? Who gives if white people are a minority in the future? It doesn't matter. The only reason why you care, white people, is because you know how you treat minorities. And you fear, rightfully so, what the fuck's going to happen to you in the future. Hopefully, my kids' friends see videos of me and they give them a because they are in for a world of hurt.
So, of course, we had to bleep out a lot of it because it was very colorful, but it was like, make more children, right? Now, he said the end game is, we're going to get that back. You can, end of the day, we got to get that back. Now, of course, he said minorities, and we don't necessarily call ourselves minorities, but we got what he was saying. He was talking about us probably more so than anybody because the United States of America, white supremacy have gone on. He's like, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing we can do as white people to escape what we got coming to us. See, I like people like him because he's not asleep. Well, and I would say this. They all know it. Elon Musk and all these other people, they know it. They're trying to avoid it. And that's why you see them legislating the way they are, but you cannot out-legislate the will of God. It is impossible to do. You cannot do what you've done to a whole group of people and other people all over the place and get away with it. White folks have been getting away with it per se for a very long time. And guess what? Time is up and they know it. So they're trying to do all these things. Oh, we got to try to suppress everybody else even more so, right? Make all these bills and take all these things away from them and make whiteness great again. Right? That's why you're hearing even the vice president of the United States talking about we're going to stop apologizing for being white. It's like, man, is that your job to sit up there and openly? Because I know talking points. Is that your job? And by the way, you married to a whole Indian woman. I said a whole, not an Indian woman. So where does she fit in the larger scheme of things? Like I know you're feeding red meat to your babies and things like that. But to this man's point, y'all got to get that back, whether you want to or not. You don't get to tell, karma, the laws of the universe. Nah, I'm good. I don't want that back. And they know what they got coming back. You name it. They got it coming back. But like he said, listen, hopefully, everybody else will see these videos of me, basically speaking truth to power and all of that, and they give my children a pass. Well, you know what? I would say this, and I hope this for you, that yes, your children get a pass, because with that, it's not all white people who act like that. As I said, and I say all the time, white supremacy hates white people too. Because there are some white people that white supremacists, right? Like these oligarchs now, they don't think all white people are like them. In fact, they thumb their nose and look down on other white folks as well. If you think I'm lying, Go visit the sticks of Alabama, somewhere deep in Mississippi, where there's a lot of white people on food stamps, and the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, and all that. Yeah, they're the oligarchy, the white oligarchy. They don't care about them. They're going to be getting the harm for all these things that they're doing too. So yeah, but thank you, good man, for speaking truth to power and telling your people there's nothing we can do to escape what we got coming because of all the things that we've done. So anyway, for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, The Demetri K Show, here on YouTube. Peace.
Okay, so first things first, no, he doesn't get a pass. I don't know how that would have happened. Well, we're not doing that. But he's being honest. He's like, look, my children are gonna have to deal with some things that because of what he has done, his father's father, and so forth and so on. But he doesn't get a pass just for making a video. It's not how any of this works. Okay. I'm gonna get Job chapter 27 and verse 14. I think the brother might not be here, so I'll read on to that. We're gonna get Job chapter 27 and verse 14. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. So he's gonna have to deal with a tremendous amount of violence. You know what I mean? That's his children are gonna have to deal with the sword, and it's not going to be a pass involved in that, just because he told partially the truth. And he's not saying like, yo, let's stop being racist. Let's change our lives. Let's just do it now. We see what's going on. We see that we are not procreating. Our women are not procreating at a rate that exceeds our death rate. Our country's collapsing under the weight of tariffs, inflation, debt, racism. You know what I mean? The will of the Most High God. Countries, getting demolished. Whether it be tornado season, hurricane season, random floods. Huge flood in San Francisco. So San Francisco had a blackout, floods. Like they're getting the Sodom and Gomorrah treatment because it's modern day Sodom and Gomorrah over there. You know what I'm saying? So instead of him like seeing the writing on the wall and changing, he's saying, well, let's rock, ride it till the wheels fall off. You know what I mean? Let's have a bunch of children. And this is something that the wicked has always said. Okay. Let's get that in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 9. They always say that. Always, hey, let's just, have a bunch of babies. Let's enjoy life, smell the flowers, drink the best wine. Let's just keep going until the Most High stops us. That's not a sorry, I apologize, I need a pass type of event. You know what I'm saying? It's like I say it all the time, that it's called the first 48 apology. It's like you sitting in front of the police, right? The detectives, and they got you on camera, they got witness, they got statements, they got everything, and then you say you're sorry, but you wasn't sorry 20 minutes ago before you realized that they got you dead in the water. And that's Esau. He's not really sorry. He's gonna cry like he always does. You know what I'm saying? But that's not gonna help. All right, let's bring that out. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 9, King.
It's the book, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 9. It say, let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this is our portion, and our lot is this.
Yeah, let's just go all out, man. You know what I'm saying? Have babies everywhere. That's what you need to do, right? Because look at the way this trend is going. We're not going to be here much longer. Most I said, if you have children, it's going to be for the sword. Your children going to be multiplied to get put to death. You know what I'm saying? That's what the scriptures say. Okay, let's read verse 10.
Verse 10 say, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age.
Huh. And while we're doing this, while we're just, procreating, having babies and everything, let's oppress the poor. The people that ain't bothering nobody, the widow. Let's give her a hard time. You know what I'm saying? Let's give these Israelites the worst time on this planet, even at the expense of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? You would think with World War III right around the corner, they would say, you know what, let's leave these black folks alone. You know what I mean? Let's give them some reparations. Maybe they'll fight in this upcoming war. But nah, they double down. You know what I mean? And they always have had that type of energy towards us. Okay. But let's get John chapter 8 and verse 44. They're going to get paid back for that. God is not mocked. So whatever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. And the way Esau has been going extra hard at us, you know what I'm saying, as far as the Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, he's all in. So we got to be all in on the right side. He's all in on the left side. We got to be all in on the right side. All right. Go ahead, King. You bring it out.
John, the book of John, chapter 8, verse 44. It say, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of.
And you can't say that dude's not the devil, because he knows better, but he continues to do, go with the status quo, go with the flow. Oh, when bad things happen, we're going to pay for this. But until then, have many babies as possible. This guy's a devil, man. And he knows he's putting out the video, not because he cares. He said, hey, and he said the quiet part out loud. Hey, man, hopefully somebody sees this and they don't kill my children, or, you know what I mean? Or they get mercy on me. That's all he cares about. He's not trying to alleviate the oppression put upon God's chosen people. You know what I mean? He's not trying to uplift the future kings of the world, of the planet. No. Still keep it going. Still keep going. You know what I mean? Still being a damn devil, man. All right. So what does God have in store? He says, we talked about that in 2nd Ezra 9:13. He's like, man, don't worry about what's going on with the ungodly. Worry about the uplift that's going to come. Paraphrasing, uplift is going to come as a result of all this, right? So now let's get Daniel chapter 4 and verse 32. Because one thing I wanted, right, and this is to be perfectly honest, full disclosure, I'm like, man, if George Zimmerman, like, you know what I mean, like, would it get John the Baptist head on the plate? I want George Zimmerman is like one of the worst people on the planet, right? Esau, proud, destroyed a young brother, you know what I mean, 16, coming from the store, sued his parents, got paid for signing Skittles wrappers, sold the gun for like $250,000. I'm like, yo, he is really living it up. He probably got a GoFundMe. I don't know how much that was. He was living it up, living his best life of killing an Israelite. It's like, yo, Most High, prayer, destroy this man. But he did get shot at one point in time, right? He got shot by another Edomite, actually. And I think it was glass that really hit him rather than a bullet. But I was thinking, if anybody should be getting vexed and destroyed, it should be him. Come to find out, the Most High was vexing and destroying him, but it just wasn't broadcast all on the nightly news. So the Most High God is taking care of business, whether we see it or not. That's why he says, don't worry about how the ungodly is going to be punished. You worried about that stuff. I got them. You know what I mean? Just keep doing the work. Okay. Let's bring that out. Daniel chapter 3 and 4 and 32.
God's the book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 32. And it reads, say, and they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will.
Con. So right now, they're saying they're gonna watch the video, but they're saying that George Zimmerman is down and out. He ain't got no job. He's homeless. He's living on the streets. Every time somebody sees him, they ask him politely to fight. I don't know how politely they ask him, but they ask him, let's run it. You know what I mean? So he has no rest anywhere. He has to sleep outside, but at the same time, everybody that he comes across wants to fight him. His life has been pretty much broken down to the point where he's probably, looking to jump off a building. You know what I mean? And not for nothing, it says in Revelation, it talks about men will want to kill themselves. They'll want to die, but death will flee from them. So he might have tried it and just failed, jumped off a building and broke all his legs, and then have to have crawl to a hospital. Who knows the things that he went through in these years? But one thing we do know is judgment. Okay, let's play that video with talking about George Zimmerman getting the royal treatment. How about Shimmy Al-Shai? All praises. Because it was funny when he was signing those Skittles. He was laughing. He was cracking up and, taking pictures with people. Sold the gun for like $300,000. It was funny then. Ain't too funny now. Judgment is taking place. So you could play that video, King. The next one up with George. There it is. All praises. I think it's muted.
I don't sound.
Yeah, I can't hear anything good. Kind of a little technical difficulties, but when that comes back, we'll be watching that. Eve breaking it down to what is happening with George, old boy George Zimmerman. Getting destroyed out here in these streets. It's the year of the Most High's redeemed. We going up, they going down. And this is gonna be monumental. It's gonna be biblical, as they say.
See, this is what I want to see for all horrible people out there that think they can treat people and do people any old kind of way in the world, and they will never get their upcomings. They will. George Zimmerman, if you don't know who he is, that is the man that tragically took the life of Trayvon Martin. This man has the audacity to try to sue this family for what he did to their child. Okay, the family doesn't have power over how people act towards him. Okay, you took that boy's life because you were scared, because you was a punk, because you was a fucking coward. That's why you did what you did, and a racist. Let's not forget that. He cannot find a job, and I guess he at this point is homeless. So broken homeless. And I can't do nothing but love every bit of this. I want to see more of it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because there are people out here that's treating people like garbage. and you think that a bunch of good and happiness and wonderfulness is going to come to your life? Absolutely not. This is the same man that had the audacity to try to that the pew pew that took Trayvon's life. The same man that's out here signing Skittle bags for money. I hope the worst for him. I hope he get everything he deserved. I hope every time somebody recognize him in the street, they stump a mud hole in his ass. That's what I hope for him. Because how dare you? And then try to sue the family because of your trash of a life. You did that to yourself, and you deserve everything that you are getting and everything that is going to come to you. Even in the afterlife, I want you to suffer. I want you to burn in hell. I want you to have to stand on hot coals and never see a fucking AC. That's what I want to see for you. That's what I want for you, because you are garbage. And I said what I said.
Eve spin. I'm right with you, Eve. I'm right with you. You know what I mean? And you know what? King David was on that same type time. You know, let's get Psalm chapter 109. And we're gonna start at verse 6. King David was with that. You know, enemies of the Lord, taking the Most High's chosen people out. That's not the way this gonna go. You're not gonna get away with that. God don't like that. All right. So just like what she was saying, let's just break it down a little bit more. Psalm chapter 109 and verse 6.
God, the book of Psalms, chapter 109, verse 6. It says, set thou a wicked man over him. Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand.
Have Satan right on his side. Go ahead.
Say, when he shall be judged, let him be condemned, and let his prayer become sin.
No chance of redemption, coming back. Even your prayers sin. All right, let's read verse 8.
Let his days be few, and let another take his office.
Read on.
Let his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow.
Yeah, like this entire life. You know what I mean? Let his entire life just get destroyed. You know, from the top to the bottom. You know, we're not praying, oh, hopefully George Zimmerman, you know, little black boys and little white boys can shake hands and all this other stuff. When somebody's actively trying to kill you, the best thing, the best thing to do is probably not be around them. You know what I mean? Close your eyes and tell them to come into the church and pray with you. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, read on.
Verse 10, it says, let his children be continually vagabonds and beg. Let them seek their bread also out of their desolate places.
Yeah, don't let it just be him. You know what I mean? Let his children, his wife, everybody, let everybody around him be affected. You know, so anybody witnessing this, you know, him being demolished, this demolition, anybody witnessing this will say, you know what? We should leave these people alone. You know what I mean? Because what does it say? Curse Israel and you shall be cursed. Bless Israel and you should be blessed. We should like do something to make them happy rather than the opposite and shoot their children coming back from the store. And then laughing about it. It wasn't just him. You know what I mean? It was people mocking you know, Trayvon. They wore, you know, a hoodie that had blood on it, and it had a Skittle and nice tea to Halloween parties. You know what I mean? It was a big joke. You know, it was real funny, but it's not funny now when you're homeless and getting beat up. You know what I mean? And the whole world's watching. You know what I'm saying? It might be, and you never know, because Jake, we at the point where 2/3 crashing out. Said the Most High is going to alleviate his anger through Jake, and you know, some gangs down Florida might say, you know what, I'm gonna find him. He's homeless. I'm gonna find him and Just like they, ride around looking for the ops any other time, they're gonna ride around look for George Zimmerman and put a hole in him, probably film it. You know how Jake is, put it on tape, put it up on their page or their YouTube, whatever, just on some
Right.
crash out type time. And that would be the end of George Zimmerman. So his life immediately started crashing as he was mocking God's chosen. Okay. Can you read verse 11?
Psalm verse 11. Psalms 109. Psalm chapter 109, verse 11. It says, let the extortioner catch all that he has, and let the strangers spoil his labor.
So he had nothing. All right. Let it fall right on his own head. Let's get Psalm chapter 7. So if you were having like a rough day, you know what I mean, coming from work, boss was breathing down my throat, or supervisor, he ain't nobody boss. Supervisor's breathing down my throat today. You know what I mean? Breathing down my neck. Do this, do that. Oh, just real frustrating day. Well, George Zimmerman broke, homeless, again, beat up every day. So all praise to the Most High. Let's get that Psalm chapter 7 and verse 16.
Psalm chapter 7, verse 16. And it reads, say, his mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own plate.
Okay, so all that stuff, all that violence towards a 16-year-old, chasing him down, got beat up by him too. Let's not forget about that. Trayvon went out like a G. He was throwing them hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that I'd let you know, the skinniest Jake can beat up the most bulky, you know what I mean? I'm in the gym every day, Edomite, because you might be able to bench press 300 pounds, but that chin is like you can't even curl, a 10-pound plate. You know what I mean? And Trayvon had him leaking. So, of course, what does Esau do? Esau goes, he's a violent person. So he chased down a 16-year-old with a gun, called him a thug. And then, of course, the backlash of the media talking about, oh, he's a thug. And look at him. He had his hoodie on. He was giving his middle finger up at this picture. He had to be a bad person, this, that, and the third. They missed all the other pictures. We smiling ear to ear with his family and everything like that. They don't care about stuff like that. They used other pictures. So all that violent dealings, his mischief just came down on his own head. He's getting beat up. He probably wishes he was gone. You know what I mean? Like, God would just take me. And the angels and Most High, and they're just laughing at him. Like, you the bid now. And now the whole world knows, okay? So hopefully things get worse for George Zimmerman. All right, let's go up into the Midwest, right? And let's start with Mark chapter 3. Matter of fact, hold Mark. Let's get the video first, okay? And then we'll go to Mark. Let's get the video of what's happening. What also just happened? A person was shot by ICE agents in Minneapolis just now. Just happened, right? So they're just shooting people now. And a lot of people online talking about, well, we about to shoot back. You know what I'm saying? This is strictly an Esau this is an Edomite on Edomite crimes happening right now. But they about to start shooting each other. Let's watch this and we'll get back to the scriptures.
We continue our coverage now of the ICE operations in Minnesota in response to the deadly ICE shooting of Renee Good. Now, for nearly a week now, crowds have been outside the Federal Whipple building in Minneapolis, and that is where federal agents typically get their orders.
Well, today we are live now. So, Rob, what did you see this afternoon?
Well, you see periodic points where those tensions do hit sort of the breaking point. A group of protesters outside the eastern entrance here to the parking lot at the Whipple building. You can see the extra security fencing that was put in place yesterday morning. Much of it, there were some of the concrete barriers that were added prior to that, and then the fencing went up. And every once in a while, you know, they're chanting ice out, sort of things and other things here. But you'll see where the tensions boil over. I'll show you the video of one of those instances this afternoon. And this periodically occurs when protesters get too far into the street opposite this entrance, or they get too close to federal vehicles that are going in and out of the entrance. There are occasional announcements to stay back off the street, but they get too close. And then that is when there is a forceful response. We saw smoke canisters, we saw tear gas or chemical irritants, and then we saw some arrests. And again, this is something that periodically happens, is those tensions do get high out here. And this has been a daily sight for protests of those against the extended and enhanced immigration enforcement here in Minnesota. Now, you'll also see tensions boil over at ICE activity throughout the metro. Let's show you another scene from this morning. This happened at about 10:30 this morning at 34th and Park in South Minneapolis. This is 2 blocks from where Renee Good was fatally shot nearly a week ago now by a federal agent. This occurred when some observers following ICE agents, which is what we're commonly seeing, followed a group into that neighborhood there. Unclear what the activity, what the mission was, or who they were after. But it did boil over into the use of tear gas, etc., to clear the scene. And then the federal agents left. But again, you see where this really becomes tense situations. Among those, this to say after things sort of cleared up a little bit.
What we're seeing is an escalation of tension and immigration enforcement by this federal government that is so hell-bent on tearing families apart. So it's just very heartbreaking.
Yeah, and those are familiar scenes throughout the Twin Cities, again, with so many people following agents, and then other protesters will converge with whistles. You hear sirens, you hear a lot of chanting, and then things boil over when the agents and the protesters get too close. Occasionally, sometimes it's something, maybe even a snowball that might be thrown towards an agent, and then that's when you see that hit that breaking point, as we've seen periodically here throughout the day. And again, we'll expect that this will be a site daily. Other sites pop up again where enforcement activities are happening. Live at the Whipple Federal Building, Rob Olson, Fox 9.
Yeah, we've seen this over the last week or so. Thank you, Rob.
Yep. Ice baby. You know what I mean? They had a party down there in Mar-a-Lago, and they had Vanilla Ice as like the headliner, because he sings Ice Ice Baby, and they're dancing and, you know, trying to do the Dougie and Kid and Play and all this other stuff. You know, Esau trying to dance because they're excited. They're excited that ICE is able to just harass anybody. And in this situation, shot an Edomite woman in the face 3 times. Everything that she ever thought about was splattered on her dashboard, man. This is an Edomite on Edomite crime that's taking place in America. And Esau is looking like, wait a minute, there's no way that this person can shoot this unarmed woman, right? She just got finished dropping her children off at school, and nothing happens. Then FBI said, we're not even investigating this. You know what I'm saying? We're not releasing the boy's name. You know, Trump was like, he's in the hospital. He's barely breathing. They see him walking back and forth. Immediately afterwards, he didn't get hit by anything. But Esau is finally seeing what we go through. Now, don't get me wrong. Esau's been seeing what we go through, but they're like, there's no way it can happen to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm white. You know, I'm right. You know, but what occurred? You know what I mean? No investigation. Now they're protesting and all that. And now, not even 20 minutes, half hour ago, I shot somebody else. They said he was swinging a shovel at him. So they had to protect themselves and shoot him. So I don't think that's going to make things better. Probably make things worse. Like I said earlier, people are talking about really going to war. You know what I mean? And like they're saying we protesting with whistles and stuff, and they shooting us. It's time for us to bring out the pew pews. That's what they're saying. You know what I mean? And that's more Edomites. So if you're Jake, I mean, just sit back and relax and watch. This is clearly Second Chronicles, Valley Jehoshaphat type time. Enemy shooting, killing each other. Hey, year of the Most High is redeemed. Let's go to Mark chapter 3 and verse 23. Because it is going down. All right. So what can you do? Israelite man, woman, child, get your popcorn. Right? You got popcorn, get some popcorn. Unless you're fasting today, get your popcorn out and watch the amazing judgments taking place on the planet throughout the four corners, especially in Babylon. King, if you had that, you could bring it out.
John, the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 23. And it reads, and he called them unto him and said unto them in parable, how can Satan cast out Satan?
Go ahead.
And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's divide and conquer, but you're dividing each other. Rome is fighting each other. The Greeks are fighting each other. Babylon's fighting each other. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand.
It's no longer the build up. And it goes deeper with Donald Trump and his administration, because right now he's talking about stealing Greenland or bombing Greenland to take it. Like, so, and they're like, yo, if you do that, it's going to essentially be the end of NATO. He's like, okay, so what? You know, so inside Babylon and outside Babylon, they are collapsing in front of the world. Okay, can you read verse 26?
Verse 26 it says, and if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but he hath an end.
So you can see the end is manifest. All right, this is the end. They're falling apart. It's only been a couple weeks before, you know, this so-called New Year, and already we'll get to Venezuela. Like it's a lot, you know, even to the point where just being on this class, Gestapo ICE agents shot somebody else. You know, so to say that it's a powder keg about to explode would definitely be an understatement. Let's go to see what happened at the start of the new year, so-called new year, right? One of the places that Donald Trump says he wants people to come in, you know, to come into the country. He's like, oh, got all these other countries. He really wants to say dark countries, brown countries, the S-hole countries, whatever, you know. People come in here and they want to, you know, take from us. You know, how about they give? You know, why don't we get people from Switzerland to come in here and Finland and da. But like when you look at it, why would somebody from Finland or Switzerland want to come to the United States? What's here that they don't have in their own country? Well, they have like free healthcare and free education and maternity leave for like a year when a woman has a child, 3 months sick days, you know, 2 months personal days. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's taxes go in to, you know, to fund what, you know, the thing that the governments give them. They don't call it welfare. It's like it's your God-given right to have health care. And you don't have to worry about, you know, for the most part, people that the government is starving, you know, will try to take some from you because they ain't got nothing to eat. You know, you can drink out of the rivers and the lakes and, you know, maybe not standing lakes, but, you know, the flowing rivers and stuff that they have over there, how high alkalinity in the water, minerals. The water that we buy that's healthy is the water that they naturally have. Chaasayah, that they naturally have. Okay. So Donald Trump says, why don't they come over? Because they don't want to. And it doesn't matter because that judgment's coming over there as well. All right. Let's see what happened to Switzerland. It was the time that the ball was dropping. Everybody's partying, having a good time. What happened in Switzerland? Let's get that. Let's get the video, and then we'll go with the scripture, the prophecy along with it. You know, and they were partying. They were having a good time. They were, 3, 2, 1, watching the ball drop over there in the Swiss Alps. They all got toasted. You know what I'm saying? And you can watch the video. It's like God just says, and he's in control of everything, of course. So as the building is on fire, the Lord's like, just film it. Don't go anywhere. You know what I mean? So it had to be that, because if you're in a building that's on fire, for self-preservation, you just get out the building. Those guys were still dancing, filming, and they all got torched. All right. Let's bring that out, King. The next video, what happened in Switzerland, January 1st or December 31st, whichever. The beginning of the new year, the Most High made the men and women of Switzerland into Swiss cheese. Can't make that up. Okay. And that's it. That's how he started off the new year. A mass fire in a very exclusive, ritzy Switzerland ski resort. You know what I mean? It went down. You can play the video, King. Right after the ICE Gestapo agents shot that woman in the face 3 times. It is New Year's fire at Switzerland ski resort. Well, we might be having some technical difficulties, so let's start with the scripture. Let's go to Isaiah 63, verse 4. And then we'll go to the video. All right. Kai, you can bring it out. Isaiah 63, verse 4.
Guys, can I be heard?
Con. Yeah, that's good.
Guys, the book of Isaiah chapter 63, verse 1.
Verse 4.
It say, who is that coming from Edom
Slack
with dyed garments from Basra? This is Slack. That is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Slack, go down to verse 4, King.
John, verse 4, it say, for the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come.
So the day of vengeance and the year is redeemed. Here we are. Okay. Starting off. At least last time, January 1st, 2025, the guy blew up that Cybertruck in front of Trump Tower. It was just him that died. You know what I mean? He had a bunch of fireworks and stuff. So it wasn't like, real sophisticated bomb making material and all this other stuff, right? This year, these the people that Donald Trump holds in extreme reverence of, you know, the pinnacle of what a man should be like, the blonde hair, blue-eyed Swiss, got torched on January 1st, 2026. Kai, you could bring out the video.
Salakia,
New information just released about the cause of the deadly New Year's fire in Switzerland ignited the fatal fire at a ski resort when they came too close to a crowded bar ceiling. 40 people were killed and more than 100 others injured. ABC's Olivia Rubin reports.
Today, investigators saying they believe sparklers likely started that tragic fire inside a Swiss bar during a New Year's Eve celebration. Videos showing the inferno starting inside, the ceiling bursting into flames in the crowded bar. You can hear people screaming as they try to escape. Victoria was one of the lucky ones able to escape the bar. She says just before the flames erupted, she saw giant sparklers being carried out alongside bottles of champagne.
So there was a server that was on the shoulders of another one. And so she was holding the champagne way too high. And so it went on the ceiling.
Multiple witnesses mentioning those sparklers, similar to the ones seen here in a promotional video previously posted by the bar. Mourners now gathering at the Crans Montana Resort in the Swiss Alps to pay their respects and lay flowers at the site.
And just like, I can't believe that all this happened. It's very terrifying. It's shocking. Like, I don't know how to feel. My heart is broken, literally.
And this tragedy being felt beyond Switzerland, the victims coming from a number of different countries. So far, no Americans are known to have been among those killed or injured. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.
You know what I'm saying? So that Most High turned the Switzerland folks into Swiss cheese at the beginning of this year. And how much worse is it going to get? Pretty bad, you know what I'm saying? Because Switzerland, Finland, all those so-called Nordic countries are actually next to Russia, and Russia doesn't like them. You know what I mean? They're NATO, and they're house a bunch of sending weapons to Ukraine and all this other stuff. So they're probably going to get nuked. You know what I'm saying? More than anything, probably the first people to get nuked to give Russia a buffer zone. But Russia has a bunch of nuclear missiles for the entire world, not just the Nordic regions. But that's how it starts off. We're going to see how it goes. But for right now, all praise to the Most High. Judgment is taking place. Let's continue on. All right. This one is called Three's Company. This is a crazy story. Esau's like, so what are you doing for the new year, man? It's like, oh, okay, I'm thinking about going to Switzerland, and then, I'm going to be in this exclusive resort. Kid's caught on fire. What are you going to do for the new year, man? I'm going camping. This is another thing Esau does. He says, I'm going to it's almost like Babylon. You know what I mean? I'm going camping. I'm going to bring in the new year on top of a mountain and this, that, and the third, because, cave dwellers, they get down like that, right? But the problem was, the issue remained that not only does God hate them, but he adds insult to injury on the hate that he has for them. Not only do they die and perish, but then he sends in a storm, so you can't even get him. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we know where he's at. We got like an hour before, he freezes to death and this, that, and the third. And the Lord will send a storm so they can't reach him. And we're going to see that with this story. And at the same time, it was multiple bodies. They found multiple bodies in the same spot that they didn't even know these people died or they were missing. So the Lord is just taking a belt to behind to Esau. Okay. And let's get some scriptures to back that up. Let's get Job chapter 20 and verse 6. So I'm calling this Three's Company because they looking for one dude, and all of a sudden 3 people show up. Like, where'd y'all come from? And they was all toast too. All right. Let's bring that out. Job chapter 20, verse 6.
So 26. The book of Job, chapter 20, verse 6. It reads, though his excellency mount up to the heaven, and his head reach unto the clouds,
Go ahead.
yet he shall perish forever like his own done. They which have seen him shall say, where is he?
Yo, where's what happened to Todd? Todd was just here. Didn't we see Todd on Friday and he's supposed to be at work on Monday? Where's Todd? He was just here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah, Todd, you know how he does. Every year he goes up to this mountain and wants to, and it'd be like the craziest name for the mountain, like Devil's Den Mountain. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't pay me to go to Devil's Head Mountain. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. Like why would somebody name it?
Or something like that. Or Devil's Playground or something like that.
Yeah, I'm cool. I can live my entire life without seeing what a Devil's Playground looks like. You know what I'm saying? So, it'd be Esau that might have named it that, you know what I mean? But you remember Gad was in this land. Gad's probably like, oh, we don't even go over there. You know what I'm saying? When Esau came over and he's learning the ways right before he kills them all and steals the land, they'd be like, oh, that side of the mountain we never go to. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's bad vibes on that side. You know what I mean? Like, bad things happen when people go there. Esau's like, really? Okay, I'm gonna check it out. And they'll name it something like that, like Devil's Playground or Devil's Den. And even afterwards have their ancestors and stuff going there, and they be coming up missing, getting eaten by bears and falling off of mountains and all types of stuff. All right. But let's check out the video, right? This is Todd ain't make it, man. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but man really thought he was gonna make it to the top of that mountain. And it's symbolic. It's symbolic. Y'all falling off the mountain. We going from the outhouse to the penthouse. Y'all going from the penthouse to the valley, to the bottom of the mountain. So you could play that next video. Call this Three's Company. Everybody was.
3 hikers have been recovered from the treacherous Devil's Backbone Trail. The area is known to be dangerous even to the most advanced hikers.
KTLA's Jillian Smuckler is live in Claremont with more. Jillian.
Micah, this is just another example of how dangerous those storms can be. Now, we still are waiting to find out exactly what caused that 19-year-old to fall hundreds of feet on Mount Baldy, but I can tell you the wind was so strong that it really hampered search and rescue crews' efforts. They weren't able to land that strong wind. What started as a rescue quickly turned into a hard.
Let's pray that is someone they just rescued.
Authorities say a 19-year-old hiker fell roughly 500 feet Monday morning near the Devil. There was no cell service.
So he went to a location where he could get service to call for help. He then hiked off of the mountain.
Search and rescue teams rushed in both on the ground and in the air. But during that aerial search, deputies made a shocking discovery. Not only did they spot the injured teenager, but they also found 2 other hikers nearby. Authorities say those 2 hikers were not with the teen and were found purely by chance.
It is extremely unusual to have 3 persons die at the same time or found dead at the same time while they're out hiking, trying to enjoy nature. And I feel so sorry for the families who are affected.
Rescue crews tried again and again, but powerful Santa Ana winds made it too dangerous to land or to hoist anyone out.
Later in that day, we contacted LA County, who assisted us to conduct a hoist rescue, but because of the wind, they weren't able to make that rescue either.
Around 7:30 Monday night, an air medic was finally lowered to the scene, confirming the worst. All 3 hikers were dead. But once again, the wind won.
Well, visibility is a factor right now, and obviously there's still a lot of wind on the mountain that they're fighting against.
We're still waiting to find out the name of the hikers, but we know the teen's friend who called for help wasn't injured. Authorities say the danger on Mount Baldy can be deceiving, especially during winter. The fall happened along Devil's Backbone, which is a narrow ridge with steep drop-offs on both sides.
It is very unfortunate that this has happened, and we don't want this to happen to anyone else.
So to try and prevent this from happening to anyone else, they do have the trails on Mount Baldy closed, and they're going to stay that way at least through New Year's Day. They said they really need conditions to improve out there. So if you are caught going up the mountain on one of those trails, while it's closed, of course, you could face a $5,000 fine or spend 6 months behind bars. Reporting live in Claremont, Jillian Smuckler, KTLA 5 News.
Thank you, Jillian.
6 months. Like, what you went for? Man, I was hiking up Devil's Backbone. Like, wow, you crazy. But that's Esau, man. Esau will cross the street when he sees us, but he will hike in Santa Ana winds up a place called Devil's Backbone. I don't, these people it don't make much sense to me, but the Most High put it on his spirit to go up Devil's Backbone, and he fell and broke his backbone. The devil broke his backbone. You see how that works? Nigga fell off a mountain. Bam.
Hey, Sluggy, I got a preset. Got it lined up, but I got it. Genesis 25 and 27. It says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in sin.
Man, does that make sense or what? That's what he's most comfortable. You know what I'm saying? He's most comfortable. He said, I'm gonna spend this New Year's hiking. And we was spending New Year's in the house. You know what I'm saying? Unless brother had to work. We was in the crib with it, you know. The water for that precept, King. So let's get Jeremiah 25 and 33, because that's another thing that we're going to have to see and, you know, kind of get used to. You know, Edomites just laid out. Nobody's picking them up. No ambulance pickup. No morgue. None of that. Main man was at the bottom of the mountain with 2 other people that were at the bottom of the mountain. And I'm sure if they go down there some more, they probably find some more at the bottom of the mountain. You know what I'm saying? The Most High not playing. He sent a nice little gust of wind while you're trying to climb that mountain, and you right at the bottom. And that's just symbolic of the fall of Esau. Okay, let's bring that out. Jeremiah 25 and 33.
That's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 25, verse 33. It says, and the slain of the Lord shall be at the and the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried they shall be dung upon the ground.
So the Most High tell you in the heartbeat, you're gonna be dung. You know what I mean? So that in Job 20th chapter, gonna be dung on the ground. Like you walk by and see, you know what I'm saying? The dog just, relieved itself on the side of the street. That's gonna be Esau. That's gonna be a lot of people though. You know what I mean? Not just Esau, but you said from that time, when things just really go crazy, it's gonna be bodies everywhere. You see a prequel of that right now. Not only did they fall off the daggone mountain, they couldn't even get help. And they're gonna have to find out who these two people are that they, just showed up out of nowhere on the side of a mountain. All right. So I talked about it earlier. I'm not going to get into it for the video, but San Francisco was underwater. You know what I mean? One of the meccas of homosexuality, and had a blackout. So we're just seeing a bunch of things happen in San Francisco that obviously is sent by the Lord. You know what I mean? But let's get the next Salakia. Yeah, let's get Habakkuk 2 and verse 4. So one thing that we are aware of, the president of the United States went to Venezuela, bombed it, had used some sonic boom type of new instrument that people's faces blood was coming out of their faces and stuff, something that was new on the battlefield apparently, right? And now he's saying, and he kidnapped the President Maduro, elected president, and his wife. It's kidnapping. That's what it is. You can't put a dress on a pig and try to say it's not a pig. That's kidnapping, right? And he said, "I'm stealing your oil." Like he's not hiding it. He didn't hide it at all. "I'm stealing your oil. These tankers." He said, "What are you gonna do with the tankers?" "What do you mean?" "Like I'm taking them to get it broken down. It's like stealing drugs. You got to chop it up. You can't just put it on a block. You know what I mean? You gotta mix it and put the cut on it and all that other stuff. This is extreme gangsterism. All right, extreme. Like, yeah, I need a couple dollars. All right, let me go hijack tankers. I'm gonna say it's sanctioned. It's the oil. Nobody's supposed to be buying this oil, so I can take it. That's how proud this devil is, man. You know what I'm saying? And then he says, "I'm gonna rob everybody." Hold up, what are you doing over there, Colombia? You got a problem with something I did? How about you, Cuba? I got something for you too. Because Cuba, now your lifeline was Venezuela. Now you need me, right? I'm gonna go take down on Cuba. He says, "Iran, I got you. Keep talking. I got something for you. You keep killing your citizens, and I'm gonna kill a lot more people." That make sense. He said, "Yeah, they're protesting over there, and they're killing the protesters. So I'm gonna go start a war over there." But even home, you got ICE agents shooting white women that just dropped off their child. And and whoever else he wants to threaten. Said, "Denmark, yo, you better give up Greenland or I'm gonna take it." He said, "We can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way." I don't know anybody more gangster than that. 34 felonies in, multiple baby mamas, you know what I'm saying? Paying off porn stars. This dude is far beyond anybody that I met that swore he was tough. You know what I'm saying? Until you can bomb a country, kidnap the president, steal their oil, and then tell the world that you did it, and then threaten other people, then you ain't on that level, man. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans need to just drop that gangster facade, man. And until you can do that, you ain't on that level of gangsterism, man. Just be a priest. Be a priest, like the Most High wants you to be. Read the scriptures and be a priest. All right, stick to that, and then let the Most High deal with any of your problems. You ain't gotta do it yourself. Okay. All right. So with that in mind, let's go to Hebrew. Let's bring that out. Hebrews 2 and 4, King.
You want Habakkuk 2 and 4?
Habakkuk, my fault. Yeah, Habakkuk 2:4.
That's because Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
He's dead wrong, man. His soul is not right. He's not a decent person. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's going around like, as soon as that ICE agent shot that woman, say, man, open and shut case. That guy's probably in a hospital. You know, he's fighting for his life, lying, knowing he's lying. I seen the video. You know, he probably will never walk again. Like he just spicing it, but you see he's lying. He's not upright. He can't do right. You know what I'm saying? You can't make something straight with the Most High make crooked. And Esau is beyond crooked. This dude is more crooked than the letter 8, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. You read next verse.
Verse 5. Habakkuk 2, verse 5. It says, yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
He's never satisfied, man. I mean, he has his Oval Office has gold everywhere. In his Manhattan penthouse, he had gold toilets. Do you know what I'm saying? He owned casinos. He owns Mar-a-Lago. Money isn't an issue because now he has the Trump coin. He has the Trump coin. And he made billions of dollars his first year. Billions of dollars. Still not happy. Now I gotta go steal oil. I gotta go kidnap the president. I want Greenland. I'm getting Greenland. He's like, yo, you know where they're NATO allies, right? He said, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I said what I said. You know? All right. So this is what we're dealing with, right? The Most High said these things will happen, but you can see it for yourself. It's lining up perfectly with the scriptures. Okay. Can you read verse 6?
Okay, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick place.
Destruction to him that keeps stealing. It's not yours. Go ahead, read verse 7.
Verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and await that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them?
Okay, so people are going to, Russia is going to get tired of it. China's going to get tired of it. North Korea is going to get tired of it. Iran's going to get tired of it. Cuba's going to get tired of it. All these places that America just picks on and bullies are going to get tired of it. Canada's like, yo, we're next. If they get Greenland, we're next. That's what Canada's saying. Do you know what I mean? He threatened Mexico. This dude is off the charts. He is bat-ish crazy right now. You know what I mean? The Most High. And I'll tell you in a heartbeat, I'll tell you any chance you get, if you have, you feeling a certain way, you feel like a spirit just jumped on you, you angry for no reason, you lustful for no reason, whatever, something negative gets in your head, and you're like, dang, a spirit just jumped on me. Ask the Most High to send that spirit to Donald J. Trump. You know what I'm saying? Have that dude vexed, to have his mind warped, like Saul, like how Saul's mind was, that David had to play the harp, I don't want to compare Saul to Trump, obviously, but I'm just giving an example. You know what I'm saying? Ask the most high, can you take this evil spirit away from me and send it to Donald J. Trump? Because hey, I tell you like this, it's working. This dude is going, he's going with the win. And all praise to the most high. Can you read verse 8?
Verse 8, it say, because thou hast scored many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, of all that dwell therein.
All right. So if you could play the next video, which is him talking about what he's gonna do next. Like he sound like a mob boss to me instead of the president. But let's check it out. And this is him on Air Force One, talking heavy D. You know what I mean? I can do this, I can do that. Who's gonna stop me? Somebody asked me, who's gonna stop you? Like, dude, he's like, my morality. Only thing that can stop me is my morality. Sick. King.
Conversation with reporters aboard Air Force One as Donald Trump made his way back to Washington. The U.S. president's return comes following the capture of Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro and his wife. While questions swirl over the legality of the U.S.'s actions in Caracas, they're being justified by Trump.
This isn't a country like where you have to travel 24 hours in an airplane. This is Venezuela. It's in our area. The Don Road Doctrine.
Donald Trump effectively swapping out the 19th century Monroe Doctrine for a world order built around great power spheres of influence. The U.S. president suggesting the United States isn't yet done getting its neighborhood in order.
Colombia is very sick too, run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States. And he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
What does that mean? He's not going to be doing it very long.
He's not doing it very long. He has cocaine mills and cocaine factories. He's not going to be doing it very long.
So there will be an operation by the U.S.
It sounds good to me. Yeah. You know why? Because they kill a lot of people.
Colombia's president says his country is ready to take up arms in the face of threats from Washington. Donald Trump, meanwhile, also hinted that with the United States running Venezuela, the days of authorities in Cuba are numbered.
But Cuba now has no income. They got all of their income from Venezuela. Cuba literally is ready to fall.
Donald Trump also reiterated the U.S. needed Greenland from a national security standpoint. The latest threat comes weeks after he named a special envoy to the autonomous territory of Denmark, and after the wife of one of Trump's senior aides posted a map of Greenland on social media in the colors of the American flag and captioned it with the word soon.
Okay, so as you can see, the Hitler spirit done jumped on Donald J. Trump. He's trying to take over the world. Yahushua is going to come back, chop his damn head off. Okay, that's just biblical prophecy. Okay, so unless he can fight with God, you know what I'm saying? It's a losing battle. Okay, two quick videos. So let's finish off. Got just one video and another one. Let's go to Exodus 22 verse 31. All right, we're going to talk about the animals. The animals are tearing Esau apart. All right, Exodus 22 verse 31. You can bring it out.
Book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 31. Say, and ye shall be holy men unto me, neither shall ye eat any flesh that is torn of beasts, in the field. Ye shall cast it to the dog.
So what if the beast of the field eats a dog? So, hey, we got to think about this. All right, so let's look at the next video. We call it Torn Dog. This dog got tore up by the beast of the field. It was bad. You know what I mean? And they're running around just kind of like tearing people up. But there's nothing they can do about it. Mountain lions. Mountain lions tore Chaasayah up. So you could bring it out, King. Put on that next video. And then we'll end with the plants, indoor plants, for peace of mind, of course. Oxygen, all that good stuff. This video's it's pretty crazy,
Colorado is dead after what investigators believe was a mountain lion attack on New Year's Day.
Possible hiker mountain lion incident.
Somebody walked out of the fire station and said there was a human mountain lion kill on the trail. And obviously they recommended that I don't hike it.
Colorado Parks and Wildlife says hikers spotted a mountain lion near an adult woman lying. They scared the animal away with rocks and rushed to rescue her, but could not find her pulse. Authorities following policy to eliminate any lions posing a threat to humans.
One mountain lion was shot on scene by officers, later tracked and euthanized. A second lion was located in the area and also euthanized by officers.
It's one of several recent encounters across the nation. Last July, an Ojai, California hiker came face to face with a mountain lion.
No.
Surviving the attack by making noise. A strategy recommended by wildlife experts.
What this woman did, which was very clever, is she asserted herself as not being prey.
In August, an 11-year-old was hospitalized in Malibu after being bitten in the arm by a mountain lion. That animal later tracked and euthanized. And in 2024, a man was killed by a mountain lion in Northern California. His brother severely injured, even after their family said they followed expert advice to make themselves look larger. In the Santa Cruz Mountains, a neighborhood on edge for months, killing several outdoor cats and livestock. There have also been unconfirmed sightings in places where mountain lions haven't been seen in years, like this animal who was caught on a Ring camera in Rochester after the first reported sighting.
I just kept running. I heard the I spent through. I ain't playing with no lion.
And I'm out here all the time.
Colorado reports just 28 attacks in the last 36 years, and this was the first fatal attack in the state since 1999. Still, this latest fatal encounter rattling hikers hoping to start the new year in the mountains. Ryan Chandler, NBC News.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube.
So Esau got tore up by a mountain lion. Obviously it was Esau because Esau's the one person that does stuff like that. And they showed it. She was like a super athlete, run, bike, swim type decathlon or whatever like that. Can outrun the mountain lion. Most High said today's the day, and you're going to get eaten by a mountain lion, which I don't think that feels too good. Neither like falling off of the side of a mountain. I don't think that's a good feeling as well. But some people are getting judged, and that's what it is. Okay. The year of my redeemed. So we're going to end with this. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 7, verse 15. Okay. We're going to end with this. I'm going to watch one video, quick video about indoor plants. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have that inner peace. You might be living in an apartment, 1,000 people a year building, and there's smog outside, and there's gunshots and rats and roaches and this, that, and the third. Take your spot and build it up. Get some plants, some flowers, some nature. You wake up, wake up and smell the flowers. You know what I'm saying? It does wonders for your mental health. You know what I'm saying? So get your space together, get your house in order in that aspect. Okay. So let's bring that out. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 15. Public Shaw.
God's book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 15. It say, God have granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as I meet for the things that are given me, because it is he that leadeth unto wisdom and directeth the wise.
The Most High gives wisdom, directs the wise. Can you go down to verse 20?
Skip the verse 20 out, or keep reading?
Skip to verse 20.
Verse 20, it say, the natures are of living creatures, and the furies of the wild beast, the violence of wind, and the reasonings of men, the diversities of plants, and the virtues of roots.
So that's wisdom. You know what I'm saying? He's letting you know, Most High gave me the wisdom to know these things. Okay, can you read verse 21?
Verse 21, and all such things as are either secret or manifest, them I know.
All right, so if you could put on the last video, and we'll close out there. All right. So we like to leave some type of, health benefits. You know what I'm saying? Because we going to inherit a planet, a universe. Be kings and leaders. You know what I'm saying? So let's live. Let's build ourselves up now. And in that time period, we could walk right into the kingdom, sip some wine with your Chaasayah. You know what I'm talking about? And a snake plant's a good plant too. I'm pretty sure they'll talk about that, but changes, while you're breathing in your room, you got the windows closed, your door closed, whatever. It's a lot of carbon monoxide. All right. But we need the oxygen, okay? What the plants need, it dishes off what we need, vice versa, okay?
The great outdoors is never far away, and escaping into nature has a way of getting a person out of their head.
You're immersing yourself in something bigger than you.
But when there's no time to get outdoors, Laura Heath suggests bring the outside in.
Indoor plants have a lot of benefits too.
Researchers at Texas A&M University recently found plant life reduces stress and increases a person's mood, productivity, intellect, and creativity. It can also improve memory retention and decrease symptoms of dementia. No greenhouse necessary.
As long as you have good soil and a little bit of water, you can keep anything alive.
Heath suggests starting small.
One of the easiest plants to maintain that is darn near impossible to kill is anything in the succulent family.
The little work they require is likely to benefit your mental health. It's not just psychology, it's biology.
There's microbes in the soil which actually physically lower your anxiety levels.
And cultivating the growth of another living thing is a reminder to allow growth within.
There is no quick fix. And gardening is something that actually puts you in more of a growth state of mind instead of a fixed state of mind.
Allie Levine, 9 News.
Okay. So, a lot of stuff's going on. The year of Most High is redeemed. Okay. Obviously the Lord is visiting this planet, destroying, judging, all these things. You know what I'm saying? So let's be aware of what's going on, stick to the scriptures, eat as healthy as possible, de-stress as much as possible, okay? Because we're in it for the long run, okay? Kom Yashala, we got next. Shalom.
Wow.